joined now by Spencer Allen, assistant baseball coach. And Coach, a good weekend for the Cougs, a big series win on the road against Oregon, and then taking a non-conference game last night against Seattle.
Yeah, it was good baseball. I think especially after Friday night, Oregon, I won't say they dominated us, but they beat us 6-2, and to come back pretty much midway through Saturday, I felt like we dominated them. We started 3 freshmen on the weekend, and really all 3 of them gave us a shot to win the baseball game. And I think when you're doing that, you're starting young guys, especially Sean Hartnett, not expected to start. I think he found out about 15 minutes before the game that he was going. Really gave us an opportunity to win the baseball game, and I think that's all you can ask for.
Derek Jones has had a tremendous year. I think people know about that. Taylor Ard seems to be getting hot, maybe at the right time for us. It's a pretty good 1-2 punch in the middle of the lineup. Yeah,
and I think those guys. I think if you were to talk to any Pac-12 opponent, or really any opponent, I think that the scouting report is try not to let those 2 guys beat you. I think they're experienced hitters, they're good hitters, they have power. Ard looks like he's busting through his uniform every time he puts it on. So I think those guys put fear in opponents. The key is guys behind them or even in front of them, either driving in or getting on base, so you don't have a place to put Jones or Ard. And we're getting that. Adam Nabulowitz had a big home run last night, big hits. Pat Clausen had a couple big hits up the middle, and Kyle Johnson was on base, seemed like, all weekend, and that's how our offense is going to get W's and score runs.
Shift gears a little bit. You also serve as a recruiting coordinator, and just talk about what's going on right now in that aspect.
Yeah, I think it's always a tough time of year because we're focusing on our guys. Our goals, we want to make that tournament, one of the 64 teams, and but right now, obviously, if you don't take advantage and go and seeing the high school kids play, you're not going to be good in the future. They always say recruiting's kind of your bloodline. That's what makes you go, and you have to have good players in this league. And so we're out a little bit. Coach Marbit's out today, and I'm going to shoot out tomorrow, and I think Swintz is out Thursday. Going to kind of rotate it a little bit and make sure that we get with our current team, and that's our number one focus. But we want those guys out there, the future Cougs, to see what we're doing and see how exciting this program could be.
You talk about being one of those 64 teams in this conference. Who knows? I think the projections out there think it's going to be a 7, maybe even an 8-bid league. But this is a program that we've played one less series than the leaders. But you're talking about a program that's 1 game back in the loss column from leading this conference, and you've got 2 huge weekends coming up. But you get those teams at home with Arizona State and California.
Yeah. I think we talk about a Pac-12 championship as well. That's definitely one of our goals. But I think with that, sometimes you can't control some of those things. If certain teams were to win out, we're not going to be Pac-12 champs. But I think what we can control is Friday night against Arizona State, and we got to try to win that day. And before that, even today, we got to make sure guys take care of the stuff in the classroom and off the field, so they're prepared for practice on Wednesday, practice Thursday, and then a huge series against obviously a great Arizona State team. So I think that is our focus. Before I mentioned making the tournament. Really, our focus is winning today, winning tomorrow, just taking it day by day. I know it's a little cliche-ish, but that's what we have to focus on and control what we can control.
But along those lines, playing ASU, another ranked team. It seems like everybody is in this conference that we go step on the field against. But do you think it helps the conference that maybe that there's not one team running away with it? So when you come down to selection time, that the team that finishes maybe in 5th place might only be a couple games out. To me, that's got to help the conference in terms of at-large selections. What do you think?
Oh, no doubt about it. I'd love to be in a room. And see how that selection show and how they look at this conference, that conference. But there's no doubt. I think we've shown with wins against Fullerton and Oregon this weekend. You can go through our resume, and you can do that for other teams in the conference. There's no doubt that this conference is unbelievably balanced, and it's a very, very thin line from you look at the best team and the lower order or the lower part of the conference, it's very, very thin as far as who's going to be where when this thing shakes out.